Okay, so let's get started. Today I'm going to do a presentation on how to achieve 11x revenue by completing tasks such as assessing, onboarding, and training new clients up to 60 times faster. This can benefit many people, but this specific presentation is for owners of community-based personal training and group fitness businesses. So we'll get into who I am in a little bit, but let's just talk about why I'm focusing on this. So I've spoken to a lot of people in the industry as well as clients, and unfortunately it's very clear that the AI fitness market has been clawing away at the traditional fitness market for years now. And COVID just kind of was a tipping point that made it clear that change needs to happen. So we have gym bankruptcies, we have declining memberships, and unfortunately the virus may or may not be going away, but with whatever happens with that, we still have become aware of how certain health conditions can make one more susceptible to things such as viruses. And so health is really at the forefront of people's minds. When we're talking about the key external drivers, that is definitely one of them. And it's become very clear that people are going to be wanting to work out more, but alternatively, people are also going to be wanting to work out more at home. So for example, 9 in 10 people have said that even when gyms open back up, they're still probably going to mostly work out at home. And so then the question becomes how to compete with the AI fitness market. What they do really well is data, specifics, customizing, personalizing things, accuracy of the data. But what they don't do is focus on the real, true human interaction and feedback and motivation that you get from a true trainer. And there's a lot of known research about the positive health effects of that interaction. So, for example, being lonely has been correlated to being as detrimental as smoking 3/4 of a pack of cigarettes every single day. So there's got to be some kind of give here, right? Like, how, as trainers, can you compete against this market that's kind of taking over? Here's just, for example, some of the research around the market, as well as the health effects of lack of interaction, etc. Next, here's a little slide about the team. I figured everybody was going to ask for the gym photos, so here you go. But my name is Jennifer Strout, and I am the CEO and founder of MotivateU. I completed Pillar VC and Petries frequency cohort. And then basically after the birth of my second son, despite my best efforts, I still couldn't find a good local gym that I felt suited the needs of both myself and my children. And while I liked the convenience and flexibility of working out at home, I really didn't like that there was no human connection there. I missed being at the gym with people to motivate me, and I knew that meant a lot to me. So, I wondered, could I find a solution to make these both work? And then the rest is history. And our management team has over 115 years of relevant technology and industry experience. Our company was founded in August 2020, and the team has altogether seven patents, 3 successful exits, including one exit at $400 million annual recurring revenue, and we are accepted to Troutman Pepper Seed Program, and our company's SBIR grant pitch proposal was accepted. We're in the final round for that. So, back to you. This presentation is for owners of community-based personal training and group fitness businesses who are looking for ways to reach more clients without giving up that feedback that I talked about is so important from a trainee's perspective, right? And as trainers, we know this too, because that's why many people got into this business. I actually just recently wrote an article that we posted on our blog on Medium about how many trainers have said that the interaction, the community aspect was the most important for them. And it was over 50% of individuals. And then sadly though, with the pandemic, 91% of trainers were saying what they're missing the most now was that community aspect. So there's definitely got to be a way to be more efficient, more productive, but not give up what means the most. So here I have a brief little overview of our steps for success. And it is definitely quite possible to achieve 11x revenue by accurately assessing, seamlessly onboarding, and effectively training clients without having to give up human interaction and feedback. But unfortunately, most fitness professionals are already maxed out with time constraints and are not equipped with the skills to do this, since technologies are still extremely new. And luckily, we've actually made this our mission to effectively address this problem in a radically new and comprehensive way. So let's break this down. Step 1, efficiently onboard new clients. So the way that most trainers are doing it now is spending time leading every individual through the gym or the trainer's process one-on-one. Number 1, it's time consuming, as it can usually take at least 30 minutes, but it's also repetitive. You're telling the same story over and over. So what's the new way to do it? Automate onboarding. And what's the result? Well, you can save up to 30 times the amount of time. And then obviously with that added time, you can go ahead and work on your business. So automated client onboarding is up to 30 times faster. And the software required is efficient and effective way to thoroughly onboard each client. And it results in less time and effort on the part of the trainers and increased satisfaction from the clients because they know what to expect and everything's been made clear. Step 2, complete detailed new client assessments in under 2 minutes per client. So the old way involves each trainer having to individually assess each client in person to manually record results. And then you're subjectively determining the baseline. I mean, we're talking about eyeballing it or using a ruler sometimes, but then writing things down on a clipboard. Super time consuming. We're talking about upwards of 2 hours. Also repetitive. Same thing for every client. Same thing for every client every month. And then, it's kind of hard to focus if you're not engaged and you're bored and it's not really what you want to be doing, which is training. And it can be subjective because every trainer might see things slightly differently. And then it's hard to find trends between client types and characteristics and their future progress in it as it relates back to the trainers, the classes, the routines that they're involved with. So the new way is to use motion tracking software and a machine learning assessment database. The results are up to 60 times faster, no frustration. It results in accurate, reliable, and valid results. Again, increase your client satisfaction and loyalty. So motion tracking software is 60 times faster, and the computer completes all of the work, saving trainers an average of 1 hour and 58 minutes per client. And the mobile motion tracking software also allows trainers to accurately and reliably assess clients remotely without having to use the subjective assessment of a trainer. Such software can effectively compare the results of each client to an ideal baseline scenario. So then it's valid, it's less time for the trainer, and again, everybody's happy, right? Win-win. So let's talk a little bit about why does it even matter if fitness assessments are accurate and reliable. Well, okay, so let's talk about this. So clients have been more and more interested in data-backed results. We're in the data age now. Just like look no further back to what I was talking about before with the AI and the science-driven workouts. And even though personal trainer certifications, right, they're anchored in science. But it is definitely hard for humans to be objective for a variety of reasons. Before I was talking about repetitiveness, boredom, you're tired, you're already trying to, fit in as many clients as you can. But let's even just talk about being human, right? So look at these two cars here. Okay, well, maybe this isn't a fair example, right? Because this one has no front. But let's just say I was asking you to compare the length of one of them to the other one. Okay, so like maybe you enjoy a lot of legroom. So you want to make sure you're going to buy one of these cars and you want to make sure that it has enough legroom. So you're going to pick whichever one is the longer vehicle. Okay, so even if they were side by side, right, it's sometimes kind of hard to make that comparison, especially when, if we're talking about or even looking at the differences of inches or centimeters or millimeters even, how precise do we want to get? But then let's talk about this other example here. Okay, well, at least both of these cars appear to have their fronts, but they're at different angles. So how are you even supposed to compare those two, right? Or let's just say you have no example at all and you're just using your memory. That's what it's really like when you're looking at your scratch notes and trying to compare what's going on for this client and trying to make a real valid assessment. It's super, super tough. Here's another good example. Okay, let me see what I have. All right, so if I show you this, in all fairness, what you see is a silver circle, right? It's a little reflective, the light shining off of it. Great. That's exactly right. But what if I show it to you like this? Now you see that it's a cylinder and it's some sort of container. So were you wrong before when you told me it was a silver circle? No, that's all you could see. Okay, so we have a serious problem here if we're just relying on our own perspective. But if you're trying to measure client success, if you don't know what the before is, how can you really say what the after is? Okay, so this is why the assessments need to be both accurate and reliable. Because if they're wrong in the first place, you can't make the comparisons. And if they're not reliable between one client and another, then you can't try to see, is what you're doing as a trainer working across clients? Is it the program that works or doesn't work? You're just, reinventing the wheel then each time. Okay, so let's move on to step 3. Effortlessly create thorough, customized, results-driven fitness and wellness plans in less than 5 minutes per client. Old way. All right. So again, now we're going to go through, we're going to pull out our clipboard. We're going to, use your memory of techniques that you've done before in training or what you studied for the exam and, successes that you've seen with other clients before, but were they the exact same type? Were they at the same starting point, even the same gender, white, height? Do you have charts for this? Probably not. Maybe some scattered notes, some textbooks, look something up on the internet. You're going to create a custom plan for each person, but it's time consuming. It's going to take a lot of effort. It's really hard to find trends and patterns between different clients when you're going off of scratch notes or maybe even an Excel spreadsheet, but you might not have enough clients to find meaningful data. And then again, when do you have even time to input all this information, right? So the new way is to use computer software and artificial intelligence to create these plans. Software customized client fitness programs are 24 times faster, they're more reliable and valid, and they result in comprehensive, accurate wellness plan. So basically giving you more time to address the other business needs, such as see more face-to-face clients or bringing on new clients with new marketing. The automated software developed fitness and wellness programs are 24 times faster, and they result in increased revenue because now you're freeing up time to do those activities that actually bring in the money. And the artificial intelligence and machine learning software is required to efficiently, thoroughly, and appropriately design science-driven, customized workout plans for each individual. And of course, this is going to result in increased satisfaction and loyalty because you know that you can get each client on the right plan and that they're going to get the best results in the least amount of time, which is what everybody's looking for at this point, right? Less time, less effort for you, for them, all around. Okay, so we have step 4. You're going to accelerate the achievement of the client's fitness goals through personalized insights into your client's performance. So how do you do that now? You try to manually review the client's notes or make judgments based on memory or subjective connections about a client's progress. Or you try to manually make comparisons between clients and their classes, or manually enter data into the computer to keep track of and look for trends, if that's even done at all. So what is the old result? Well, it's time consuming. You lack objective data points to allow for comparisons between clients and groups of clients that are undergoing a specific routine, regimen, or enrolled in a specific class. You can't find trends between client types or characteristics or trainers. And the fitness plans can vary widely between trainers. And then so from there, how can we figure out What's the varied achievement? So hard to sort out, like which variables of the trainer, the plan, a specific trait of the client. It could basically be a completely full-time job just for one trainer's client load alone. So the new way, we're going to use motion tracking software connected to a database that uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to monitor and report clients' progress, as well as trends within and between clients, within and between classes, programs, and training regimens, etc. Artificial intelligence and machine learning inform statistical trends within and between clients, workouts, classes, trainers, regimens, and programs 30 times faster, more reliable, valid, and result in increased tailoring of fitness programs and client goal achievement. So now you're personalizing it to them, you're customizing it to them, increased satisfaction, loyalty, lower churn. What is that? Higher revenue. So in summary, the motion tracking software paired with AI can produce data-driven statistical trends 30 times faster, and it's required to efficiently deliver personalized insights into a client's performance against himself, his class, as well as trends within and between classes, trainers, programs, training regimens, and it increases satisfaction. This is kind of gets into the community piece too, right? People want to see how they are doing in comparison to others. It helps them not just when they see it for themselves, but for others, and so that's a piece that is kind of a benchmark that we can offer with this new idea. So step 5, complete detailed reassessments in under 2 minutes per client. So of course, going back to how you assess in the first place, and then when we're doing the reassessments, it could take up to 2 hours, super repetitive. Now it's just not the same thing, but it's the same person. And then on top of that, you have to take the reassessment data, you have to update the client's fitness plans, adding even more time and frustration. Super subjective. If a trainer switches or goes somewhere else, the client can be disrupted. Or if the client goes from one program to a gym to another, again, disruptive. There's no objective data points to explain what has happened or is happening with this person. So the new way is to use motion tracking software and a machine learning database. It's up to 60 times faster with no frustration. It's accurate, reliable, valid. Again, happy clients, lower churn, happy revenue, right? Higher revenue. So motion tracking software is 60 times faster and more accurate, and video and motion tracking software is required to reliably assess clients remotely. That's an option now, totally feasible, without having to use subjective assessment of a trainer. And such software can effectively compare the results of each client to an ideal baseline scenario, so it allows you to get that valid and reliable results in less time. And finally, step 3, providing motivating real-time feedback for clients, both live and recorded, remote and virtual sessions. So in this case, an old way, when you're running remote classes, trainers often stop demonstrating proper technique and form and instead sit close to the computer or a screen to try to monitor clients, or you don't give out any feedback at all when demonstrating move. Let's go back and talk about the sitting close to the screen. Like, I've been talking to trainers and they've told me this is what they're doing. Like sitting up here, like with their face in this camera, like just looking at the screens, because you can't track it. I can't even complete a Zoom call and try to talk to multiple screens at once and know who to look at. Like, how could you possibly run a class, move, and look at everybody? And even if you're trying to scan, by the time you're on to the second or third person, what about that first person that you moved on from? What if they really need your help now? You can't see backwards. Like, it. Okay, so aside from that, then other things that I've been hearing from people with how things have been going since COVID is just being left with like whoever you had before COVID hit. Okay, who are the people who've come to the class all the time, week after week, know the drill? They don't need you to do the routine anymore if you do the same exact routine every time. So then you start to wonder, well, do they need you if they have it so memorized that they can do it without you demonstrating it for them? Right? And then, like, can you again really see if they're doing their form correctly or not? Or is it possible people could be straining muscles and things because, again, back to the perspective thing, right? Okay. Right? You can't tell with angles, the clothes, the lighting, it can go on and on. Anyway, old result. Clients don't know if they're correctly performing a move. Like I said, it can result in an injury, right? And trainers have a difficult time viewing the client because of the large number of clients in the class. Like I said, lighting, angle, clothing. So you're trading off between leading the class and monitoring the clients. So you have a lack of appropriate combination of demonstration and feedback. So it's difficult to obtain new clients that way, right? If you can even keep the ones you have. So what's the new way? Use a motion tracking software connected to a database. Trainers can demonstrate movements continuously in real time as clients' movements are being compared against the trainer's movements for accuracy. Thus, it allows trainers to provide feedback when necessary. Software knows when to alert the trainers so they don't have to remain hypervigilant, and instead trainers can focus on providing a high energy class. It's exactly what you want and your clients need. Clients are motivated, they're engaged, they're pleased with the level of positive feedback, and clients and trainers feel safer knowing that the client is being continuously monitored for form. So trainers feel less pressure knowing that the technology is aiding in monitoring the form, and it allows the trainer to focus on providing demonstrations. Stress relief all around, reduced effort, and allows everyone to enjoy the benefits of exercise. So in summary, motion tracking software paired with AI and machine learning can increase feedback, motivation, and engagement. And it allows the system to monitor clients' form and alert the trainer when necessary, resulting in increased demonstration and feedback on the part of the trainer and on the part of the client, allowing trainers to increase class size while simultaneously increasing accurate guidance on clients' form and performance, resulting in less stress and effort on the part of the trainers and increased client satisfaction, loyalty, and revenue. So in summary, as you can see, all you have to do is automate client onboarding, use motion tracking software, machine learning database to complete detailed new clients assessments, use computer software and artificial intelligence to create thorough, customized, results-driven fitness and wellness plans, use database connected remote motion tracking software to monitor your client's progress and to provide personalized insights into the performance of your clients and trainers, specific workouts, classes, programs, and regimens. Use remote motion tracking software and machine learning assessment database to complete detailed monthly reassessments for each client, and use machine learning database connected remote motion tracking software to provide motivating real-time feedback to clients both publicly and privately during and after both live and recorded remote virtual sessions. And you can achieve up to 11x revenue by completing all your tasks up to 60 times faster. So where does that leave you? Well, you can probably tell how I feel by the slide by the look of it. I'm not gonna lie, like no other company offers this solution. So in order to achieve this, you would need to build it yourself. But there's a steep learning curve, and you would have to take years of classes to learn how to code artificial intelligence and machine learning features, and then the capital to pay for the hardware and the servers to run the code. And the reason I'm saying this in all frustrated manner is I understand that when you are trying to make a business work, you are doing what you need to do every day, every minute of the day, every hour of the day. And how do you make money as a trainer? Face-to-face hours. That's it. You're making the money based off the face-to-face hours. So realistically, expecting to be able to put even a little bit of time aside for this each day, who knows what the next trend is going to be? Who knows what the next tech is going to be? And even 5 years from now, it's not reasonable to expect to be able to just drop everything and do this. And even if you were to slowly do it, you might not be able to keep up with the things and how it's moving. But I can say the alternative is, because we've made this our mission, our goal, speak to trainers regularly all the time. I hear the frustrations. I know from being one myself and also being somebody who wants to get back to the gym as a mom, seeing it from both sides. You can also work with us, okay? So again, this is for personal trainers and group fitness instructors who want to have a highly profitable and sustainable business. but are struggling on how to make money outside of face-to-face hours with clients, or you just want more clients, or you just want to bring that community back, you want to bring back that feeling that you had when you're physically in the gym all the time. You know it's going to be hybrid sometimes now, but you don't want to give up what makes fitness so magical, right? So here's what will happen when you work with us. You will be able to efficiently onboard new clients. You can even complete assessments and reassessments in less than 2 minutes, effortlessly create fitness plans in under 5. All while being able to provide an unparalleled level of data-driven, actionable insights based on your client's performance. If you have a lot of trainers, your trainers' performance, specific workouts, classes, programs, and regimens. You can finally be able to get rid of not being able to provide meaningful feedback during remote sessions. You can forget about not being able to make money outside of face-to-face time, and you will feel confident, powerful, and unstoppable because you will be able to provide the engagement, motivation, and goal setting that got you into the industry in the first place, while turning a profit at an unheard of level. Okay, so let's talk about how does this actually work, right? You want to know now, how does this work? Please get to the good stuff. Okay, well, before, when you wanted to onboard a client, you would have to spend time leading every single client through your process. But now you can use a simple guided, customized, automated software with settings that only take this required time to set up once. And you can officially onboard future clients without wasting any time on that repetitive task, right? Step 2, before, when you wanted to complete an initial client assessment, you would have to individually assess each client in person, manually record the results to subjectively determine the baseline. But now you can use a simple video platform and motion tracking software to automate and streamline and complete this initial assessment process in under 2 minutes without even having to be present and spending up to 2 hours manually recording results and subjectively determining the client's baseline. Okay, so let's talk about how easy this is, right? When you onboard with us, you upload one video. Even if you don't want to use your video, you could use our baseline video. But if you have your own, you upload your own video, and that's it. Every time somebody does the assessment after that, you just get the computer-generated results, skim through. Yep, that looks good, check. Won't even actually honestly take 2 minutes. The 2 minutes is just divided across your first couple people after you upload your own video. If you use our video, it's going to be even less. This is not a live video, but this is just a snippet of one of our live videos, right? So if you want to look after, you want to like zoom in, you want to say, hey, okay, like let me see what happened at this one particular time. Why was this client getting this score? Okay, well, while this particular move is being done by the trainer on the right, this client is doing this move instead on the left. Okay, so you could see where the difference is. Obviously the arms, but also how the knee is bent, the depth of the lunge. You can gain a lot from that. Okay, and next, let's see. Feature 3 and 4. Before, when you wanted to create a results-driven fitness plan, you would have to review each client's assessment and then use your memory and experience of training techniques and successes and failures with past clients, scattered notes, textbooks. It makes my head spin every time I talk about it. And other resources to create a customized plan for each client. But now you can use our easy-to-use computer software and artificial intelligence to create a reliable, accurate, customized fitness program in less than 5 minutes without the frustration and feelings of being overwhelmed by countless variables and hopeless of the idea of ever creating income outside of face-to-face hours. Okay, so back to the assessment. Right after, it spits out a plan based on that assessment. Again, you want us to personalize it based on what you would do for your particular clients when you get onboarded. Set that all up. You don't want to bother, we got it. Taken care of. It's going to take much less than 5 minutes. The only reason you have to look at it all is so you see what you're supposed to be doing with that person. That's it. Done. Okay? And then in terms of step 4, before, when you want to provide personalized insights with your client's performance, you'd have to share what came to mind if you thought of anything. But now you can use the simple insights feature to accelerate achievement of your client's fitness goals. Not only provide them personalized insights to each client, but also recognize trends between client types, characteristics, classes, routines, and regimens without making subjective or no associations at all. Do you see how easy this is? I mean, look, okay, let's just dive in, right? Okay, so I'm going to bring you here and we could look at the trainer's login. So here we can see first, when you first initially jump in here, you're on the admin side here, and you see immediately we are able to always have access to the launch class. And we'll talk about that a little bit more soon. But we can pull up insights here. We can click on a particular person, see how they did on a class, look at what their goals are, their 3 top goals here, and quickly see how much progress they've made towards that. We can also look at a particular day and time. This is where you'd then pull up this heat map here. Okay, this is the part where they did the worst. What was that? Okay, that was the move that they needed the most assistance on. Perfect. Okay, we can even have a different set of features when we go to the trainer mode. So somebody might be a trainer and also an owner, and so obviously then their access is going to change a little bit here. Okay, so let's get back to this. Here's one more thing. If we are looking at the individual, like what did they see on their end? Okay, so we'll click here. This shows us what we have from the individual standpoint. They can still look at all of these features, see when they're absent. Oh, look, not showing up actually has an effect, right? Again, see how they're doing with their goals here. So let's talk about how easy it is to launch a class. For the first time you set up a class, it's no more than 4 clicks. Every click time after that, if you set it up to come up again, which is custom to, let's say, yoga, Monday yoga, then it'll be 1 click after that. And when it's your next class, it literally shows up on the screen. All you have to do is hit that play button. So back to the step feature 5. Before, when you wanted to complete a client's reassessment, you'd have to individually reassess each client, manually record the results, and subjectively determine the client's progress in relation to his or her baseline. But now you can just use this simple video platform and motion tracking software to automate and streamline and complete each subsequent reassessment under 2 minutes without even having to be present and spending upwards of 2 hours of valuable time. And for feature 6, before, when you wanted to provide real-time feedback during a virtual workout, you'd have to sit and stare at a bunch of tile screens. But now you can use this simple motion tracking software, allowing you to provide motivating real-time feedback to clients both publicly and privately during and after virtual sessions without having to give up demonstrating proper technique and form, since the software enables the trainer to focus on one client at a time by bringing the client to focus in the full image for the screen, allowing trainers to easily increase class size without decreasing performance. And additionally, the software sends out automatic or custom feedback messages after the sessions for additional feedback and guidance. So both trainers and clients can review video outtakes after a session and make side-by-side comparisons to work from to achieve improvements. Moreover, the system sends all of the session data back to the platform to track and the performance of all the assessments and insights we spoke of before. So I think before, when I clicked on the individual, we could see some of the trainer feedback on the side, but let's go into the demo of the actual footage from a demo class. Launch operant flow. Then we're going to come into warrior pose. Just make sure you have one arm straight out in front of you and then one straight behind. Perfect, looking good, everyone. Great. Finally, we're going to come into tree pose, placing the bottom of your foot on your leg. Just move it up a little bit to make sure that you don't hurt your knee. Perfect. Namaste. Great job, class. Thank you. Okay, so we went through a lot, right? So let's break down these benefits. Automated onboarding allows you to seamlessly onboard new clients up to 30 times faster. It's valued at $800. AI automated assessments allow you to complete accurate, personalized assessments up to 60 times faster. It's valued at $3,147. And machine learning customized fitness plans, allowing you to develop fitness and wellness programs up to 24 times faster, valued at $3,067. And personalized insights allow you to produce data-driven statistical trends up to 30 times faster, valued at $19,000. And the automated reassessments, allowing you to complete accurate personalized assessments up to 60 times faster, valued at a little over $25,000. And the AI interactive remote virtual sessions, allowing you to increase feedback, motivation, engagement, and class sizes, valued at over $43,000. So this is all based on if you have a client roster of 100 and you're onboarding 10 new clients per month. But instead of paying this, we'll be offering it to you for less than 1/10 of the price. And we work with your actual client roster size. So all you have to do is book a call, okay? You get artificial intelligence on automated onboarding, the automated assessments, the machine learned customized fitness plans and personalized insights, artificial intelligence and automated reassessments, and interactive remote virtual sessions. And I did not even mention this before, but all of that basic stuff that you get from all the companies that are out there now, like the scheduling integration, the other common app integration, the billing stuff, we take care of all of that too, okay? So it's not even included in there. Let's not even get into like what that really adds up to. But aside from that, for a limited time, we're gonna even offer you a free one-on-one customized onboarding if you act now, meaning you will be paired up with one of our team members who will literally onboard you and your company, making sure that everything is set to be customized the way you like it. But that is super, super time consuming for us. And we only have the bandwidth to onboard 10 new companies per month. So if you're interested, make sure you act now, or you might not get another chance until next month. All you need to do is book a call.